I was literally sleeping in the back, and they shot it.
And you see a on the front, you follow with the brick.
Fuck. I'm so confused about what's going on outside, right? Look at this. What is that?
I'm coming outside, man. Just so you know, I'm armed.
This clip comes from Ads, the creator behind the YouTube channel Ads Ventures. Since early 2022, he has shared his experiences exploring remote locations, camping, and searching for unique finds. His adventures are usually driven by curiosity and lighthearted discovery, but on the night of June 23, 2025, a sudden and destructive act thrust him into a situation far darker and more dangerous than he ever expected. Ads was setting out on what he thought would be a straightforward mission to acquire a rare antique item from a shop on the Kent coast. The journey, intended to be a pleasant treasure hunt, began with him finding a suitable spot to park his van for the night near Winchelsea.
We are on an extremely, and I stress, extremely important mission like no other. Unless, of course, somebody's done a mission that's similar before, then it's a mission. Oh, I haven't come as far as Rye because I looked on the map and parking there seemed like a bit of a nightmare. There's height barriers on all the car parks. So we're in a place now called Winchelsea, or we're near Winchelsea anyway. I think we're on the way there. We should be there in 1 minute. And because the antique shop is going to be shut today already, I'm thinking we're just going to rock up here, have some dinner, which is something I've never had before, by the way, and then from there we can go on to this shop in the morning. I've found this one here. I don't know if I trust it. Is it wide enough? Far enough from the danger of the road? I reckon it probably is, right?
He carefully selected a secluded lay-by, ensuring enough distance from the main road and other potential visitors, believing he had found a safe haven amidst the peaceful sheep and picturesque views. As evening fell, he settled into his van, preparing a novel dinner, but little did he know. While he savored his unique meal, a sinister presence was lurking just outside the comfort of his van, preparing for an act of pure destruction.
So I'm going to start with a base layer of red Leicester cheese. In fact, I need that to fill all the way to the end. On the other half, we will be using mozzarella. And are you ready for this? This game-changing toasty guts. Wait for it. Oh, the glory. The absolute glory of it all. And a technique which I'm going to pass on to you now is you can use the cheese like a spatula to spread it out to all four corners. And we simply just reconstruct the toasty, add the inner lid, add the outer lid, turn the power on, fire up the induction hob, and just like that. I'm so confused about what's going on outside, right? Look at this. What is that? It looks like smoke coming out. Right, hold on a second, this is bad. Right, some lorry was just outside mine. Or just out the front. I swear that's a fire, that is not clouds. What is happening? It is. What is happening?
Later that night, the serene atmosphere was shattered by a sudden, unsettling sight that caught his attention. Smoke billowing in the distance, growing brighter by the second. As the severity of the situation became clear, a deep sense of unease settled over him, hinting at something far more sinister than an accidental blaze.
Right, so I'm trying to film me at the same time as filming the fire up there. Something bad's happened, obviously. I know who it was because there was someone on my CCTV. It was all a bit weird. I'll tell you about it in a minute. I'm going to go speak to this bus driver.
Whereabouts are we?
We're in Winchelsea.
Down near Winchelsea Beach. There's a fire involving a caravan by the looks of it.
Pet Level Road.
Okay, thank you, my love. They've had several more calls. I've just rang them, and basically they are on their way.
Right.
They have had more calls.
I'm just going to go spin my van around in case someone comes back and does that to my van, because someone's done that.
It has looked like it has been done.
Well, it has been done because the geezer just ran past me, jumped in his motor and sped off that way.
It could be arson then.
Right, someone set fire to the van that's just down the road behind me, and it was the person who was parked in front of me. I'll explain more in a minute, but I need to move my van in case they're going to do it to mine as well. Obviously, I'm no longer going to be staying here, but the old bill, they're going to want to talk to me about this. I can see a flashing light up near it, so that's obviously some sort of traffic control coming along. The camper van is fully ablaze behind me there. This is no joke. We've got a massive tail of traffic all down here. I can hear the fire engine in the background making its way up. This is not good.
The realization that this was no accident but an act of arson sent a jolt of fear through him. He immediately moved his van, worried he could be the next target of this unknown perpetrator. After moving the van, he cautiously approached the scene, and what he witnessed was the devastating aftermath.
Walking a bit closer to it now. You can see the fire engine's just down there. The camper van is now in ashes on the floor. It's been completely burnt out. You can see the guys just down there spraying the last bits to make sure it's fully out. But that is the end of one vehicle. I guess I've got to wait for the police to turn up, because if I leave the scene, they're going to think it's suspicious. But other than that, I don't know what to do. Obviously, I'm not going to sleep here for the night now. It sounds like it might have been targeted on that particular van because it's been sat there for ages, apparently. But you never know, it could have been just a random camper van burn. But at the moment, there's no point in just continuing to film the old flashing light ahead of me there. The fire's out, so as we speak, look, it's stopped flashing. The fire engine's driving off. It looks like the drama has finished for now. But I am going to sit tight and see if the police turn up, because, like I say, if I disappear now, it could look a bit suspicious on me.
The once proud camper van was now a charred skeleton, reduced to ashes on the ground, with firefighters working to douse the last embers. The police, however, were conspicuously absent, leaving ads with more questions than answers and a feeling of lingering vulnerability. Later, after leaving the area and finding a safer parking spot farther down the road, ads meticulously reviewed his van's CCTV footage the next day, hoping to uncover the truth behind the terrifying incident.
When I was eating my second toastie, I looked up on the CCTV and I saw a van just parked up in front of me. Now, bear in mind that I'd chosen to park in this particular lay-by because it's a small one. Now, some of these lay-bys up here are absolutely massive. There's other small ones as well, but there's plenty of them, right? So I thought, if I park there where that car was, that's where we were, no one's going to come into this spot because there's just no need for it. And whilst I was eating, I looked up on my CCTV, like I said, and I saw a van was parked there. Now, I was going to get out of the van and make a joke about it. I was going to say, how dare they park in my driveway and all this, just for a laugh. But before I had a chance to do that, I was finishing my food, and like I said, this geezer ran past the van that way and up here. Now, as soon as I heard his footsteps running and panting past my van, I looked up on the CCTV. I was like, what's all that about? Why is someone out for a run at this time of night? But I saw that he jumped straight into his van and sped off, which I thought was a bit weird, and I was wondering why. But in my head, I just come to the conclusion that maybe he'd been caught short. He needed the toilet, and he'd run up onto the beach, done his business, and then he jumped back in the van and just carried on his journey. So I looked back on the camera, and I saw a light on the front camera and a light on the rear camera. Now, that's not out of the blue. I thought it was just headlights coming down the road. One of them was. It was a bus that was coming down this road here. That's the bus that you saw last night. And the other light was up there, which turned out to be the fire, but at the time I thought it was another headlight coming down. But then I noticed the light from the back of the van was getting brighter, and there were some clouds, right? Now, bearing in mind, it's a split screen, so it was really small what I was looking at. I could see these dark clouds coming over, and I was like, that doesn't look normal. It was a bit weird. And then I put it onto channel 2 so I could see the whole thing full screen, and obviously that's when I realised it looked like a fire. That's when I hit record on this camera.
The playback revealed a chilling sequence of events. A van had deliberately parked in front of him, despite plenty of other larger laybys available. He watched as a figure emerged from that van, walked past his own, and ascended the steps towards the beach, where he then bent down, seemingly preparing something nefarious.
So from that point onwards, you saw everything unfold as it happened. But last night, after checking my CCTV, I found out what happened prior to all of that. He got out of his van from here. He's walked along past my van and he has approached the stairs which lead up towards the beach. So he's made his way up those stairs and he's come along the top bit here. Now, as he's got to about this point right here, you can see him on my camera. He bends down and he's sort of preparing something. He's probably got, I don't know, petrol in his lighters or whatever. But basically he's doing something up on this spot here where he's sort of ducking down and looking in his bag or whatever it is. Now he's doing that for about 30 seconds and then he starts heading down this ramp here, back towards the spot over here where the fire took place. So now he's back down on the road here and he's not far from where the inferno took place. And as you can see, it is just here in front of us. Now at this point you can't really see exactly what he does, but that's the last I see of him for a while, because what I think must have happened, there were cars coming up and down this road at the time, so he's probably just wanted to get away from this as quick as possible and he's taken this route up here. So I couldn't see that bit on the camera and I didn't spot him again for a while until he was further back there. But there is more on that CCTV of him disappearing into the night, so I'll show you that bit in a minute. But first, let's just take a look at this. And to be honest, this just confirms what I thought after watching back the footage. There was a few people that were on that bus that were basically saying it was a caravan. At the time, I thought, I don't know why, I just in my head thought they were referring to like a motorhome type of thing. But it looks like it was actually just a caravan, not a motor caravan or not a camper van, because you can see the structure of it here is completely demolished. And obviously if it was a proper vehicle, there'd be some sort of structure left. So from here, he has obviously come up these steps that are right next to the blaze, and he's come up onto the beach here because I couldn't spot him on the CCTV at this point for a little while. And so we're back now where my van and his van was parked. So he's come all the way along this bit on top of the beach basically. He hasn't even come this close to the road here because I couldn't spot him at all on this bit. The next time you see him on the CCTV, he's literally standing up there on the bank next to his van and he's sort of looking back, probably to check that the fire's started properly. And once he realises his mission is complete, that's when he runs back down the steps past my van at an extraordinary rate. And that is obviously the point where I first heard him in person, and then he's jumped back into his van and disappeared into the night. So from looking at all of that, it looks to me like it was a planned, targeted attack.
The footage continued to show the individual descending a ramp towards the spot where the fire ultimately took place, disappearing from direct view amidst passing cars. The arsonist later reappeared on the bank next to his van, surveying the growing blaze to ensure his destructive mission was complete. Finally, the man sprinted back past Adz's van, out of breath, jumped into his own vehicle, and vanished into the night. The exact moment Adz first heard him in person. The footage strongly suggested a planned, targeted attack, though the motive remained a mystery.
But one thing that I will say is, if that was completely random, for all he knew, there could have been people inside that thing. Or he could have picked a different vehicle and it could have been mine. But thankfully that wasn't the case and there wasn't anyone in that caravan. So it could have been a lot worse. We need to look on the bright side, and we also need to get back to the original theme of this video. Now I was going to explain all this last night, but obviously the video steered itself into a new direction. So basically, last week my mum was in an antique shop in Rye and she saw a rare item which she really liked the look of. Now it's her birthday in a few days time, so I thought I would come and buy that item. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know what it looks like. It's sort of a vasey, teapotty item. I will recognise it when I see it. But the reason why I didn't ring ahead was because if they know that I'm coming down just for that item, they might hoik the price up. And I don't even know what the price is in the first place. In fact, I hope I can afford it. But yeah, the whole theme of this video was going to revolve around that Holy Grail, and I was going to be trekking across loads of fields. There's like a castle nearby. We're going to go on a proper mission to get to this antique shop on foot. But because most of the video is now taken up with the carnage that happened last night, we're going to keep this section brief. I'm just going to drive there as close as I can, find a parking spot, and hopefully go in and secure the Holy Grail. What an absolute legend. Right, we got to go to the other side of that bit there. It's just some sort of marina thing. Go around the water, find a shop, hopefully secure the prize.
Ads reflected on the random and unsettling nature of the arson, realizing just how close he had come to disaster. If the car parked in front hadn't been there, the arsonist may have targeted his van instead, and at that moment, Ads was still inside. The thought of what could have happened was chilling, as it could have led to a life-threatening situation in an instant. While the true motives of the arsonist remain unknown, situations like this often involve individuals with psychopathic tendencies or darker intentions, making the encounter all the more frightening. Fortunately, both Ads and his RV escaped unharmed, a reminder of how quickly danger can appear and how thin the line between safety and catastrophe really is. For every lucky escape, there are those who may not be so fortunate, highlighting the random peril of such encounters. With the immediate danger behind him, Ads felt relieved and safe, but he didn't let the incident derail his plans. After a quick and easy parking, he made his way to the shop and successfully acquired the unique vase teapot. What began as a terrifying brush with potential disaster ultimately concluded with the recovery of a rare and cherished item, turning an unnerving experience into a bittersweet victory and a story of luck, caution, and perseverance. Up next is James, the creator behind the YouTube channel By the Curb, where he documents his van life and travel vlogs, moving from place to place and exploring something new with each adventure while sharing his experiences on the road. On January 16th, 2025, James set out on another solo van camping trip, this time in Sunderland, and found what seemed like a good, quiet spot to park for the night. But that calm didn't last. Sometime after he fell asleep, James was suddenly jolted awake by strange, loud noises coming from just outside his van, instantly shattering the sense of safety he thought he had. And instinctively, he grabbed his camera and started recording. What was meant to be a simple overnight stay quickly unraveled into something far more disturbing.
You're going to go and take it to be sections, I'll put me stick to this one. No, I'll try to see it to this one. That's an old one. And you see a on the front, his father was a Briton. His father, his grandfather, was a Briton, and I'm the back. Did not work no one. I'm not the third door. I'm not the private rig. I'm not a first is the English footballer. And now reef, I don't know what it means. You see when you put on the dead people who you're supposed to love. Fun stuff, I never heard before. I've got a new modern technology. You've got fucking stuff like this on there. You're a cameraman, you're shutting out all that. You tell me. I can't see you on something too like you don't mind. Because you don't know who my father was. Now, I'll be water from
So I've got some nutter shouting outside van. Look at my shoes on.
Fucking whiskey or something. Look how you put in your fucking way that you know. You want to do?
Still there, look. It's coming back. So I'm just hoping that it'll get fed up and bugger off. So, I'm laid in bed, with my hands shaking, bloody hell. I'm laid in bed with my head up that end, and then there's a massive almighty bang. Absolutely scared the life out of me. I didn't know what I thought it was. I just thought it was some, like it was some drunk or something like that. So I pulled blind down slowly, because I've got CCTV, but they're all like misted up, so you couldn't see anything. I pulled blind down slowly, and there's a bloody face at the window. Then he wrote something up that window. I don't know, I'll have a look at that when it's light. So I've taken my table down, and I've got that. And I've just sat here probably for about 30 minutes listening to him shouting at Van. I was peeking at him through a window, and he sounded very threatening, going on about mental health issues and being stabbed in the head and all stuff like that. So you're thinking, oh God, we've got one here. But I think I don't know. I'm saying I didn't feel as scared as I thought, but I did, probably. But I thought, worst comes to worst, I could get out and confront him. And it was probably one of them people that, you know, during the course of the day, just random nutter just shouting stuff that they're not that scary, but with that situation, because I'd just been shocked like that, my heart's still going. And then I thought I'd get in cab and drive off, but I'm facing wrong way. It's a dead end down there. So that's something to bear in mind in future. But that's the first time in 2 years. That is the first time anything remotely like that has happened. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, like near a farm. Well, you'll see, I don't know if it'll get on this vlog or whatever, you'll see where I am. I'm still not going to be negative about van life or all like that. As I said, it's first time in 2 years this has happened. But I think you should just take a little bit of precautions, like even just little things like thinking about what way you parked so you can get away quick. But I wouldn't have been able to get away that quick because all windows steamed up in it, you know, with condensation. Anyway, I ain't getting back to sleep now. So I would have been knackered.
A man was standing just inches from James's van. Without warning, he began pounding on the windows, the sound sharp and violent in the quiet night. Then, through the fogged glass, he scrawled 3 chilling words with his finger. I love you. The message alone was enough to send a wave of fear through James. The man's voice was loud, aggressive, unhinged. Every instinct told James to stay completely silent. There was nowhere to run. The thin metal walls of the van were the only thing separating him from whatever was happening outside. The minutes dragged on, stretching into what felt like hours. The man refused to leave, pacing back and forth, shouting obscenities and screaming into the darkness for nearly 30 minutes straight. His words shifted erratically, sometimes sounding like demands, other times like threats, often making no sense at all, as if he wasn't in control of his own thoughts. He didn't sound rational. He didn't sound stable. James didn't move, he didn't speak. He sat frozen in place, barely breathing, hoping that silence would make him invisible, praying the man would lose interest and disappear into the night.
Right, he's moved on, he's gone down there. I don't know if there's some more motorhomes down there that he's shouting at now. I think he's probably pretty harmless. That just freaked me out though, that. I don't know what to do. I don't think I've got enough space to do a U-turn here. I don't know if you can see him at distance. Another van's come and he's buggered off now. I don't know what's going on down there. I think there's some sort of, I don't know, farm or depot or something like that. So, I'm not going to let that put me off van life at all. It's the best thing I've ever done. I absolutely love it. And I don't want it to put you off. It is what it is, isn't it? One thing that's come to mind is that I've seen some alarms. There's these fancy alarms you can get. So, you know, if somebody like touches van, you've seen them, or if they touch your vehicle, it sets an alarm off, or it gives them a warning and then it sets an alarm off. I think I might be getting one of those.
The man eventually stopped shouting and moved away from the van, but he didn't leave the area completely. For several long minutes he lingered nearby, his presence still felt even in the silence. James stayed on high alert, instincts fully engaged, listening closely, bracing himself in case the man returned or something else unfolded. Sleep never came, but the night passed, and James made it through unharmed. Later, James replayed everything in his mind, trying to understand what had happened. None of it made sense. The knocking, the shouting, the words scrawled on the window, it all felt disconnected and erratic. The man's speech had shifted constantly, sometimes sounding like threats and often like nonsense. Whether he was mentally disturbed, intoxicated, or something else entirely, James couldn't tell. What he did know was that the behavior wasn't normal, and that uncertainty made the situation even more frightening. By morning, James had survived the night without further incident, but the experience stayed with him. Encounters like this are an unspoken risk for van lifers and solo travelers. People who choose isolation and freedom often cross paths with strangers, driven by curiosity, hostility, or darker intentions. In those moments, there's no rule book, only instinct. James's decision to stay silent and avoid engagement likely prevented the situation from escalating. He never found out what the man truly wanted, and maybe that unanswered question is what makes the encounter so unsettling. Sometimes survival isn't about taking action, but knowing when not to, and trusting your gut can be the difference between making it through the night or facing something far worse. Meet Alex, known as Bugs, on his YouTube channel, Alex Bugs Marentes. Through his videos, he takes viewers on solo explorations and overnight stays in abandoned and remote locations, sharing his experiences and the eerie histories of these forgotten sites. With a straightforward and often cautious approach, Alex aims to uncover the mysteries hidden within these desolate landscapes. However, on the night of December 1st, 2024, in Yeso, New Mexico, Alex would learn just how unpredictable and unsettling these adventures could become, pushing him to his limits and forcing a hasty retreat. Alex arrived in the remote town of Yeso, New Mexico, planning to spend the night in his RV van, eager to explore the abandoned structures where he had once encountered something supernatural. He began his exploration by stepping into a large, derelict building while recalling the dark memories tied to the location.
So this is the big room here. A lot of debris, furniture, that sort of thing going on here. Tumbleweeds, sound of the train. Anyways, this is the window. I'm going to show it to you. This window here has wire mesh. You can see it. See that? It's to keep people out. Me and my friend were standing right next to this window. We're getting ready to leave. And suddenly it was very quiet. Like right now the train is going by, so it's kind of loud in here. But it was very quiet. And suddenly we heard like a dragging sound. Like we heard it 4 or 5 times. It lasted about 4 minutes. It sounded like metal, like heavy metal being dragged on the gravel, which would be the shoulder that has gravel. And my friend ran outside, and I was right behind her. And when we went outside, we didn't see anyone. So to this day, we can't explain what was going on. Okay, the train is gone. This is going to be very quiet now. So give you a little bit of this room here in the back. And as you can see, there's really nothing out there. Tonight, I'm gonna park my car over there. I mean, my van, RV van. I'm gonna stay the night tonight here.
Inside, debris and old furniture lay scattered, creating an atmosphere of decay. He observed a window reinforced with wire mesh, designed to keep intruders out. It was at this very window, during a previous visit with a friend, that a chilling incident occurred. Continuing his current night's exploration, Alex ascended to the upper level of what appeared to be an old motel.
These are the stairs, if you see them. See if you can see them. They go up there to that door. When we came into this room, we came in through this entrance here. And when we came in, this door just slammed open. I mean, you can tell when it's like natural, but this was not natural. That door flung open and hit the wall. It wasn't natural, like, like the wind or anything. It was like some force opened it really hard. And, it was kind of scary going up there. We didn't know what we were going to find. So let's go up there and see what we find. Okay, so let's check out this room to the left. This is assumed a motel, so you can see the rooms. It's missing the walls. The sheetrock is broken, but you can see the rooms that that is partitioned with a wall that is missing. There's one room here, another room here, and then here's the rape room. There's some old dirty mattress on the floor. The last time we were in here, there was some underwear, mostly female underwear scattered here. What is this? I don't know what that is.
The structure was heavily damaged, its missing walls exposing the partitioned rooms of its past. As Alex moved through the ruins, memories of unnerving incidents from a prior visit with a friend resurfaced. Further investigation led him to what had been referred to as the rape room, where a filthy mattress lay on the floor. Despite the creepiness of the place and what he had found, Alex chose to proceed with his original plan, parking his RV in the deserted ghost town for the night, confident in his preparations.
Well, guys, I'm having some dinner and wrapping it up for tonight. We're here in Yeso. I'm parked right in the middle of the ghost town. It's all deserted, so there's no one around. Some houses located on the outline area, on the outskirts of this town. Maybe like 4 or 5. But other than that, I'm pretty much surrounded by... the heater came out, scared the hell out of me. Surrounded by just houses that are a ghost town. So let me show you. I'm having some pozole that I warmed up on the stove, and then Give you a little bit of a tour. Have all the lights on. Have all the windows closed, including there's a curtain for the front that closes.
Later that night, inside the comfort of his secured van with all windows closed and curtains drawn, Alex was settling down for dinner. The heater suddenly kicking on startled him, a momentary jolt in the quiet solitude. After eating, he prepared for sleep. The van converted into a comfortable bed, his plan to rest before heading out in the morning. However, his peaceful rest was short-lived.
Okay, guys. Something woke me up. I heard, I think, sounded like footsteps. I'm not sure if that's what woke me up. I put on my pants and my shoes, just for in case. I was asleep. I got all my windows closed. I got this light here, but I don't know if they can see it. But I suddenly heard footsteps. Something woke me up. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, fuck. Just for in case. Oh shit, I heard the footsteps again. Looks like they went to the back. What the fuck? Okay. Somebody's definitely outside. I don't think I'm gonna stay here. Honestly, I end up shooting somebody. Fuck. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? There's somebody inside.
Suddenly, Alex was jolted awake by the unmistakable sound of footsteps outside his van. The ghost town's silence made the noise all the more terrifying. His heart pounding, he dressed quickly as the footsteps seemed to circle toward the back of the vehicle. Convinced someone was out there, he armed himself and, with a mix of fear and determination, called out into the darkness. There was no reply, no movement, no visible presence, only the crushing silence that made the unseen presence feel even more unsettling.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm coming outside, man. Just so you know, I'm armed. I'm opening the door. Who's there? I don't see anybody. Fuck. What the fuck? Anybody there? Why the fuck is nobody out here? Hello? Maybe they went inside that schoolhouse. Okay. It's time for me to go. The sound was coming from this side, from the driver's side. Okay, I think I'm gonna head to Vaughn. Motherfucker.
He slowly opened the van door and stepped outside, moving with caution. As he scanned the area, he found no one, no footprints, no sign of a presence, no evidence that anyone or anything had been there at all. The unanswered questions and the escalating fear quickly led Alex to one conclusion: he couldn't stay. Was it someone playing a cruel trick, or something far more sinister was waiting for him in the ghost town? He later pondered if his announcement of being armed had scared off his unseen visitor, but the experience left him deeply paranoid and unsettled. His instincts had told him to leave, and he listened, ensuring his safety in the face of the unknown. Meet James, the man behind the YouTube channel, What's Up with James. James takes his viewers on journeys through forgotten spaces, uncovering their histories and mysteries. His passion for exploration often leads him to unique and often eerie locations, always documenting his adventures. However, on the seemingly ordinary night of November 11th, 2022, what began as a simple overnight stay quickly escalated into a disturbing encounter, one that would shake him to his core. On a recent exploration, James found himself seeking refuge for the night in a secluded, abandoned building. After a day of documenting the forgotten site, he settled into the back of his truck, preparing to sleep. As he lay there, drifting in and out of consciousness, he heard a vehicle approaching. Thinking little of it at first, his sense of calm was abruptly shattered.
So a bunch of guys just pulled up and shot my truck with me in it. I was literally sleeping in the back, and they shot it up right there. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy, because these guys pulled up, and you know, I don't know, I think hopefully it was just a bunch of kids or whatever, but yeah, even hopefully. But so I'm in the truck, and you know, these guys pulled up, and I heard them pull up, and I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm at this building, because I was staying at that abandoned place, and I'm at this building, and man, it was crazy. They just started shooting at my truck, and I'm in it. So I ducked down. I was like, oh my God. Like, I ducked down. I was like, okay, well, you know, they're shooting at the glass, whatever. And then I heard them take off, and I just got out and, you know, basically got in the front, checked it out, got in the front, and drove off, because I'm not going to stay there tonight. Obviously, not after that. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to go down the road or what. I'm pretty far from home. I don't want to have to drive all the way home tonight.
The silence of the night was pierced by a barrage of gunshots aimed directly at his truck with him still inside. Terror immediately gripped him as he realized his truck was under attack. Instinctively, he ducked down, his heart racing as bullets tore into the glass and metal around him. Only when he realized the assailant's vehicle was speeding away did he assess the damage. Discovering his truck had been struck multiple times, an unsettling reminder of just how close he had come to losing his life.
I haven't found any rounds yet. They're small. It's a 22 probably, right, or something. But I haven't seen any rounds in here or anything. My truck's a mess. But yeah. So aside from needing a new window, I'm okay. I guess let that be a lesson. You know what I mean? Just be careful if you do anything like this, or a lesson to me too. You know, that was scarier than any paranormal experience or anything like that I could have. That was pretty wild. You know, you're sitting in your truck and it's being shot at, like, regardless of whether it's a small caliber or not. That was a pretty scary experience. So you hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And it's falling apart. I decided to go home. I had to stop and put gas, but I decided to go home after this because I got to get this fixed, because this is my daily driver. It was pretty crazy. Like, I did hear them pull up, but I was still like half asleep, right? I think I even have toothpaste in my mustache still, like, you know, because that's like 2 feet away from my head. But so I was like half asleep. They pulled up. I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? And then started shooting. I was like, oh my God, it was just crazy. It's a weird situation. So but yeah, I did decide to go home, so I'm filling up with gas now.
He suspected the bullets were small caliber, possibly a .22, but the impact was undeniable, leaving his windows shattered and the interior a mess. The shock of the event was profound, far more terrifying than anything he had ever faced during his explorations. Although James managed to escape physically unharmed, the psychological impact of being shot at while sleeping in his truck was immense. This harrowing night served as a stark reminder. While abandoned places hold their own eerie charm, the true, unpredictable danger often comes from fellow humans whose motives remain a haunting mystery.